They just want the love. And when they don't get it, they show behaviors which we classify as right or wrong. There's nothing right or wrong. They're just expressing their basic need through that behavior. But we start working on the behavior and we never go and find out what is the underlying need.
Take the time to remind yourself that it all starts inside yourself.
Wake up feeling stuck every day, then you gotta realize that it's all in your mindset. Read about the meditation, you go get around to it, you just haven't had the time. Yeah, I bet. Best thing that you could invest in is you. Could have the results or could have the excuse. Only one life, so take care of what you choose. And I ain't preaching, I'm just telling you the truth. Wake up!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bombastik Broadcasting with Kat, Kim, and Sue.
As you know, here at Bombastik Broadcasting, we love to illuminate the folks who are stoking the fire in their souls. So today we are doing another one of our showcases. Our next guest highlighted on our showcase of the Coaches for the Global Conscious Parenting Summit, remember those words because you're going to want to look them up later, is Poonam Raonta. And she is another fabulous parenting coach coming to us from Australia. They're going to be coaches from all over the world at this global summit, which is so exciting. Welcome to modern technology. And Poonam's tagline is from control to connection, which I super love, right? And conscious parenting to healing is really what lights you up. So can't wait to hear more about you and what you're going to be, what your passions are, what you're going to be doing at the summit, and just getting to know you better here. So welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to have a chat with you guys. It's always, it's a two-way street. We always learn from each other so much. And it's always such a pleasure to be in the company of like-minded people who are making an effort to become conscious and also spread the message. Like it's so important these days with the nuclear families that we have. We've lost the strength of the village and the community and the support. And we are so focused on making every day happen that we lose touch with our inner capacity to nurture, to raise our kids in more conscious ways. I think when we were living in communities in the villages, like, when we had our elders around us, when we had that support system, it was such a big boon because when the parents are actually busy making life happen, there were others to nurture the child. The child could go to anyone. But these days with nuclear families, it is so difficult for the child to make actual connection with the parents because the parents are so busy. Not saying parents are doing anything wrong. They're doing life, but there's not that much opportunity to connect with the child, to provide the emotional support, the everyday connection is missing. And because we are so busy as parents doing other things, it is like we are tired. We are looking after so much. We need to bring the money in. We need to have the food on the table. We need to take the child to a bazillion activities. We do all of that. We are trying to do our best. But in the process of doing all this, somewhere the connection is lost. Children then show behaviors where they are crying for that connection, but then we are treating the behavior, not the underlying cause. So I'm very, very passionate about what I'm doing, and I feel deeply honored to be on this journey. Even if I can make a difference in one person's life, one child that grows up that feels complete, whole, and like in love with themselves, my work is done.
Beautiful, Poonam. Beautiful. And tell us, how did you get started on this journey?
It's very interesting. So I have a day job and I work as a life coach in the evenings. In my day job, I was sitting in a conference where a speaker was talking about domestic violence. And so he gave us some percentages. And so he said that 1 in 5 children will undergo depression. It hit me so hard. And I questioned back. I was like, did you mean to say children? And he said, yes, 1 in 5 children will undergo depression in the times to come. And I just could not get over it. I came home and I kept thinking about it. And then I felt, what can I do about this? So my children are grown up and I have the time. What can I do? And then I started searching, like that was way back in 2018. And I started searching, what can I do? So I started looking up, what can I study and help people? And I looked up psychology. I looked up things, here and there. Like I was trying to make up my mind. And then I found coaching. And when I found coaching, I realized, unlike being a therapist, I'm not saying therapists are doing anything wrong, but most of the therapy work, like a psychologist's work or a counselor's work, sits in the past. Whereas as a coach, I could deal with the past, but work in the present. And that's when I decided to study to become a life coach. So I did some accreditation in life coach, becoming a life coach. And during that process, I found Dr. Shifali. And even when I became a life coach, I realized that I can't make much impact if I'm working with children, because I was like targeting, I need to help children. I need to help children. And when I started understanding Shefali's work, I realized that I don't have to work with children. I need to work with the parents so that we can help the children. Yes. So that changed the whole dynamic. So I studied with Dr. Shifali and I started my own business. I call it Possibilities Redefined. And I actually want to redefine possibilities for people. So yeah, here I am. Along the way, I've worked with many clients. I've even worked with uni-going students. Don't know how they came to me, but someone referred them and they started coming to me. It has been a very enlightening journey, not only because people are helping themselves, it is helping me grow as a human being. I'm becoming in the journey, like I am becoming more conscious. I'm peeling my own layers. And I think you have to do the work to be able to provide a safe space for someone else to do theirs. And that has been very beautiful. My interactions with my family have changed. I have 2 adult sons and bless them. Our dynamics are changing every day because we are communicating in a different manner now. In fact, me and my son actually did a podcast last year. We just did 8 episodes, but we talked things that we had never spoken about. And it's only because I am becoming conscious. I am changing. So the biggest message that I want to give through this podcast is you can never change others. You can only change yourself. But one little step towards becoming conscious is going to have a radical effect on how your child behaves when they become an adult and how they experience life. So you can change things for them to be joyful, to live in the present moment, to experience life the way the universe wanted us to, not because of how the form world trains us. And I'm also doing a compassionate inquiry with Dr. Gabor Mate, which is another layer of experience, because now I'm understanding, seeing parents and helping them to understand their inner child wounds and parent from that angle as well. Yeah, it has been a beautiful journey.
I have heard that name. So Dr. Gabor Mate is a parenting coach too.
He is basically he's a physician and he has spent most of his life understanding childhood trauma, and he's worked with a lot of people who have addiction problems. So he has a modality for coaching, or like for everyone, for therapists and everyone, that's called compassionate inquiry. So you compassionately inquire and help people understand their childhood traumas. And end of the day, we are all humans. We are trying to do our best. No one wants to be a bad parent. We've just never been taught. Like there's no school to go to. Like I don't have a certificate. We just become parents and we learn along the journey of parenting. And that's why I keep coming back to the concept of the village, because back then we didn't have the experience, but our parents and grandparents had the experience. So the child learned from their experience and their understanding of what life is. And they had the patience and the calm that the parents don't have yet, or as much. So yeah, the need has become bigger.
So true with that village. And I really appreciate that you've highlighted that a little bit. Because I think when you're saying 1 in 5 children will go through depression, and I think about how my father grew up Italian. Everyone on the block was a family member pretty much, because when people came over from other countries, they'd set up like Little Italy, like Little Holland, like, so they had their family unit right there. And that was such a beautiful concept, because if the parent couldn't be there, there was always someone around to direct them. So there wasn't all this emptiness. And I think part of that depression is probably that void that they're feeling from the emptiness. So people like you, Poonam, are here to be able to fill it with positivity and just what your heart said. Thank God you listened to that call that you had, that call to action in 2018.
Thank you.
And were your children already grown at the time?
I've got grown-up children. My older one is,
That's okay.
31, and my younger one is 28. They were, but there is a lot of things that I've learned in this journey that I realized I wasn't doing right. I was parenting.
Did you go, oh, darn it?
Yeah, many times. So I've had conversations with my children now. Every now and then I ask them questions, how did you feel about this? How did you feel when I did this? So I think during these conversations, I'm helping them heal their inner child.
Absolutely.
I'm helping them understand how our interactions might have impacted them adversely. So when they become parents, if they choose to, or like even in their interactions with their partners, they can understand where the trigger is coming from and fix it. If they're not aware and not conscious, then they won't be able to fix it. So we have these conversations, and it's amazing how big an impact, like people, sometimes clients come to me and they say, I'm happy to be on this path, but my partner would not come with me. You don't need your partner to come with you. You do your bit. And I started this journey, I started up peeling my own layers and started meditating a little bit and doing all the right things. And my husband came along. He's a better meditator than me now. He reads more books than me. And it just happens. That's why I say the only change that you can make is with yourself. Leave the rest. Everything else you rub off.
Yes. I mean, okay, it's amazing that you started doing parenting coaching after your children were grown up. I love that, because you can still heal your relationships forever, right?
Yes. I have that opportunity. At least I'm conscious now. So when I see parents come to me and they don't even realize that their subconscious or their nervous system is driving them, I understand that it's the same with my children. So how can we start that journey? How can we start that communication that one day they don't need to go somewhere to become conscious? They start becoming conscious now. It's never too late.
Right.
Yeah. Never too late.
I love that message. We've been getting that, a little bit so far from this summit, and also as it relates to a coach once told me, how you do one thing is how you do all things.
Yeah.
So by learning how to be a conscious parent, you're also learning how to be a conscious wife, mother, friend.
Exactly.
Right? So it's really for everyone.
Yeah. I mean,
who doesn't have part of that village?
So when you become conscious, you're becoming conscious of your own patterns and healing them, and it's going to impact everyone. It's also going to impact you at work, like your relationships with your colleagues. It drastically changes because you're seeing things differently now. So our experience of our life is through the perception, and that perception is the lens of our experiences. When we change our experiences, our lenses change and we perceive the world differently. And the experience becomes joyful because you've changed your perception. And that's what you can do for so many people. And why wouldn't you want your child's life to be joyful? And if you give them that platform where their experiences are conducive to joy, they will see life through that experience and they will be joyful themselves, but they will also spread joy because that's what they have. You know how Wayne Dyer says that if you squeeze oranges, you get orange juice? And if you're squeezing lemons, you get lemon juice. So if we provide that platform, and when the world comes to us with all that is happening around us, which is not always joyful, that puts a pressure on us. And if it puts a pressure on us and it's squeezing us, if we have joy, we will ooze joy.
I love everything that you're saying. And for those people out there that are like, well, that sounds great, but I've tried to be conscious before, and here I am with my lemonade, with my lemon juice, right? So can you tell us a little bit about, is there a first step towards that connection, like you're saying, because that from control to connection,
Yeah.
as you say,
Yeah.
that connection is lost. So if we're speaking to one of those parents that is feeling like that connection is lost, they're feeling that emotion, is there a first step towards consciousness? Because you said even if you're one step closer to consciousness, you're on your way. Is there a first step that you recommend, or is it different for everyone?
I think it's going to be different for everyone, but like if I'm just talking generically, you could just think like every time you get triggered, learn to pause.
The power of the pause.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So you don't like react instantly, you pause and then you respond. And in that pause, just try to understand what, like, obviously we get triggered because of the behaviors on the outside. What is this behavior causing inside me? And the other
And
thing,
that's the
like if it's to do
consciousness.
with, yeah, and if it's to do with your child, try to understand what is the behavior trying to tell us. You know, as Dr. Gabor Mate says, when the child acts out, they're actually acting out what they can't express. So we punish the acting out, but they don't have the words to say what they're feeling. So every child is actually trying to be seen, heard, and validated. They just want the love.
Aw.
And when they don't get it, they have behaviors, they show behaviors which we think we classify as right or wrong. There's nothing right or wrong. They're just expressing their basic need through that behavior. But we start working on the behavior and we never go and find out what is the underlying need. So the first step for connection is to understand that your child is not here to push your buttons. The child does not want to cause any problems. The child only wants love. But the child does not know how to express what they are feeling when they feel invalidated, when they feel they are not being heard, when we take their autonomy from them and they are not feeling seen. They try to tell you in a million ways, this is what I need. Can you please connect with me? So if you pause in that moment without reacting and try to understand, what is my child trying to convey to me? And then you respond. That will be your first step.
There's not going to be a dry eye in the house, girl.
No, I know. I gotta just let that sink over. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes
Can
so
you
much sense.
ask your child, because that expression part, boy, that really highlights a whole other chapter. We're told as kids, be quiet, go entertain yourself, and we're probably doing it to our kids in the same way but different. Because when you say what they're really trying to do is, will you please connect with me? So is it as simple then as pausing? So like you say, pause, take a moment, and then don't react, respond. Can you ask them? Is it as simple as saying,
It
what are you trying
depends
to express
what's
to
the
me?
emotional state of the child. If they're very
Okay.
dysregulated, they cannot make sense of anything. They are in their emotional brain, not the thinking brain. So you know how we say flip the lid? They flip the lid.
Yes.
So basically,
Yes.
if you look at your hand like this, that's our amygdala and that's our thinking brain. So this is our prefrontal cortex and this is our amygdala. So usually we are like this. So amygdala is covered, which is reactive, and this is our thinking brain. So when we are emotionally dysregulated, the thinking brain just gives up and the amygdala becomes active. So always remember, as parents, if they're emotionally dysregulated, their thinking brain is not active at this moment. So it's just the amygdala just causing tantrum. So in that moment, you can't bring sense to them. All they need is love. Like if, let's say, if there is a young child crying and saying like, I want ice cream now. And I'm not saying asking you to like give the ice cream because we have to have boundaries, but you can simply sit with the child and you can just validate their feelings. I know you really want that ice cream right now, but it's not good for you. I'm here for you. I understand you don't want the ice cream. If I was you, I've done that as well. Sometimes I want things that I can't get. So I totally get that you're frustrated. And I'm here for you. I'll sit next to you. So just give the love. Just give the love. You don't have to give the ice cream. You just validate that you understand their feeling. That's it. But later on, when the flip comes back, when the thinking brain is active, you can explain how ice cream is not good for them. And you can do the same with the teenagers. Like it works magic. When they are dysregulated, they can't regulate their emotions in that moment. All you need to focus on is sitting with them and helping them regulate themselves. So this is called co-regulation, right?
So basically just saying, just conveying the fact that you understand what they're feeling.
Yeah, exactly. They feel validated that their feelings are important and they're right in feeling what they're feeling. Doesn't mean they have to get it. But
Yes.
I love
I
that.
think that the distinction there is you're not saying I understand what you're feeling. You're saying I understand you're feeling feelings.
exactly. And I'm happy to
Ah.
support you.
Sue, you're so smart.
Yeah, look at her. She's
So
quiet,
smart.
and then she
She
comes
is-
out with it.
She's fully like in her thinking regulation mode. I'm all over here like, what? What? This goes back?
Well, I feel like even now
Yeah.
I'm over 28, but you don't understand what I'm feeling.
Just a bit.
But you can acknowledge my feelings. That makes me feel better.
The adult kids, they might come back and say, you don't know what I'm feeling. You never know this. Just say, I'm here for you. I can see that you're very disturbed. If you need anything from me, let me know. And if they say, just go out, like leave the room, just say, okay, I'll be outside and I'll come back and check on you. So they know that no matter what they do, our love is not withdrawn. And if you do it enough number of times, they will start connecting with you sooner because they know that you are not doing it just for the sake of doing it. You mean it, that you are there for them. The problem is that when we are triggered, we withdraw our love. We instantly become like a young child as well, like, throwing a tantrum with the child throwing a
Yeah,
tantrum.
we're like, you being very naughty.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not talking to you. So what does that mean?
Right.
That means that if
That
you
means,
don't,
I'm not here for you.
no,
And your feelings are unacceptable.
exactly. So the child thinks, if I do this, that doesn't please my parent, and they withdraw the love, and they're dependent on your love.
Then we've
they
created a bunch of
that's
people
where
pleasers.
the people pleasing cycle begins, because you're not accepted as you are. You have to change to be accepted. And when I think about those instances, I'm like, oh my God, how lonely would that be for a child that their caregivers are saying, if you do this, I withdraw my love.
I think we're all going to be visualizing this now, this hand. I think thank God that we have visual and not just audio on this podcast. That was beautiful.
Yes.
So what about when this is us as parents?
Yeah,
when
we
we're
need to
all
take a pause
quick
and
reaction.
you need
How do we love ourselves through that?
Yeah. So that's the most important thing, that we actually display what we want them to become. And it starts with us. When we do this, then we need to make sure that our child understands. So if you're feeling angry, you would name the feeling. You would say, in this moment, I'm feeling angry. So I will just go into my room and come back when I don't have anger. So I can talk to you respectfully. Or if you're feeling frustration, you would just say, I'm frustrated right now. I need to calm myself down, and then I'll come back and talk to you. Because when you do that, next time they are angry, they know they have the option to do this. They will say, I'm feeling angry. Give me some time, and then we'll talk about it, if they are adults. But if they are young children, at least they learn how to name the feelings.
I love it. Thank you
Yeah,
for
that's
that.
really great.
Yeah. And there
So
lies
just
the
starting
power.
off going, I'm feeling XYZ.
Yeah. And remove yourself from that space, because you don't want to take any action when you're dysregulated. So you are not only regulating yourself and learning the techniques, and there are lots of techniques. Unfortunately, we can't go through all of it here, but then you're demonstrating that when the kids feel dysregulated, they can change it, that it's not going to last forever. And then they have the tools to calm themselves down before they act. So you become their role model. For all these years, I wasn't even aware that I was not in the driver's seat. My subconscious was driving everything. Responses, my reactions, everything was coming from how I have experienced my childhood. And then I thought that I was making decisions.
No.
Yeah. And now,
They're making-
like, I go to subconscious space because your nervous system is so strong. The body actually remembers everything. So it instantly goes there. But at least I'm reflecting. And if I'm reflecting, I'm making a small change every time I reflect. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm perfect. I still make mistakes. I won't call them mistakes. It's a conditioned pattern, and I respond out of that conditioning. But because I'm doing the work, I'm conscious that I'm speaking from my conditioning. And later on, when I reflect, then I go back and find the root cause of it. Like, where did it come from? Like, I can give you a small example. Like, something was wrong with my phone. And you know how you're so busy. So I'm doing 2 jobs pretty much full time. I have a day job and I coach in the evenings. You don't have the time. And, the kids are so technology driven. They instantly would fix your phone, your laptop, everything, because obviously they're smarter than us. So something was wrong with my phone, and both my boys were home that day, and my husband, they were sitting and chatting, and I was doing this work, and something was wrong with my phone. I came here to the living room, and I just said, I don't know what's happening with my phone. And I explained, what's not working. And my husband said, Dad, give it to me. I'll fix it. Can you see anything wrong in it? But I flipped my lid.
Ooh,
I
I
did.
love we have a hand signal.
Yeah. And I was like, instantly, I was like, what? You think I can't fix it myself? And I walked out of the room, and I went back to my room, and I was sitting in my office, and I'm like, Poonam, what did you just do? What did you do?
You know you can't fix it yourself.
Yes. And then I realized that just because the way he said, you can't do this, come, I'll do it, my nervous system took an offense. My ego just came out roaring, because when I unpacked it, like, obviously now I had the tools to unpack, where did this trigger come from? And I realized that when I was growing up, my parents used to really appreciate my academic performances, and like I used to be on the stage, and like I used to be all over the place. And that was appreciated. So I started getting validation from that appreciation. And in that moment, I didn't feel appreciated. I felt, my ego felt as if it was an attack, that I don't know how to do things. And just imagine, I'm an adult. But then in the adult body, there is that inner child that still seeks validation from doing. And that came out instantly. Like, my subconscious just jumped into the driver's seat.
The monkey was driving the bus.
Exactly.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah.
But you took the pause and you figured it out. What a great example.
Yeah.
I think we can all learn from those.
So our triggers are messages. Our triggers are messages to go inside and seek out how our patterns are hijacking our lives. So, yeah, I've taken refuge in consciousness, meditation, peeling the layers. It's painful. It's not easy, but I'm going there every time.
Given us so many beautiful tools today, Poonam. Thank you so much. I feel like we all have a new hand signal. So instead of when you want to flip somebody the bird, maybe just try this. Be like, I'm here. So good.
There you go.
Thank you.
I love it. So, Poonam, here at Bombastic Broadcasting, we like to say that a rising tide lifts all boats. You have one-on-one coaching. Do you have a website, and do you have any courses or anything?
Currently, I'm doing the one-on-one. I'm actually developing some courses because there has been a demand. So I'm going to do some webinars, like online courses. But currently, I do one-on-one. I have a website called poonam.com.au, and people can go to my website and book a session with me. I give a free discovery call, so they can come and see if we are a good fit.
That's why we're going to have like 40 options at the Global Parenting Conference. Like me, I have 39 more options.
Yes, correct. Yes. Yeah, I have social media handles at Coach Poonam Raonta, both on Facebook and Instagram. And I post a lot of information about how people can help heal themselves.
Lovely. Looking forward to that.
Well, that's it from Bombastic Broadcasting. Be joyful, be aware of the power of the pause and be able to verbalize your emotions.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. So much more in this world that you can do. Wake up. Every little thing in this life that you're going through don't mean a thing. Wake up. You keep shining. You keep grinding. Wake up. All is aligning. All you gotta do. Wake up. My man Mo said that the reason that the world fucked up is cause everybody lazy. Positivity is corny to them, but they still gon' complain about the bad going on. Shit crazy. So I just had to drop a little project. I don't know what the object is, but this feels good. If you too hood for the good vibes, sorry I ain't got nothing for you. Why should I?
You shouldn't. We out here doing the things that y'all wouldn't. Life could be a sweet ride, proof is in the pudding. These guys with the weak vibes, I'll show them where to put it. Down bad, I was looking for the answer. Mind all mad, taking over like a cancer. Canceled the sub plans, came from up above. Told me everything but doing, showing love, and I gotta
wake up. So much more in this world that you can do. Wake up. Every little thing in this life that you're going through don't mean a thing. Wake up. You keep shining. You keep grinding. Wake up. All is aligning. All you gotta do. Wake up.
I've been getting so high, head up in the clouds. I don't ever wanna calm down, but I gotta
wake up.
Ain't enough time to be down. Bust a smile, cause it's yet another day that I'm allowed to
wake up.
Feeling blessed to be alive, man. Not long till we thriving. Take the time to remind yourself that it all starts inside yourself. Most.
Wake up feeling stuck every day, then you gotta realize that it's all in your mindset. Read about that meditation, you go get around to it, you just haven't had the time yet. Yeah, I bet. Best thing that you could invest in is you. Could have the results or could have the excuse. Only one life, so take care of what you choose. And I ain't preaching, I'm just telling you the truth. Wake up, so much more in this world that you can do. Wake up, every little thing in this life that you go